Should have stayed in the past. These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
Who are you?
Forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield, are you not? We are archaeologians, tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared, our brothers here occupied their attentions. Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty to its conclusion.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering Ultima's origins. A duty of the highest import, as I'm sure you will agree.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which all Undying aspire. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence, Lord Marquis?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agreed to collect your findings in his stead.
I see. That is most kind. Pray, take them then, with our humble thanks. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart, as it does in ours.
It's one thing to lay down your life for another, but for a survey... I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
Let us continue then. There is a second half.
I hear.
My thanks. I shall study them, and inform you forthwith if I discover aught that might aid.
Cyril, your survey party suffered losses which could have been avoided, had the others not chosen to complete their work, instead of set with these your orders.
No. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix.
Even when death is avoided.
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which it would be fruitful to argue. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations, and your opinion of our methods, however earnest, is not like to change them. We live to serve the Phoenix.
Cyril, I know that you and your brethren answer only to Joshua, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix To have his loyal followers surrender their lives without good reason. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for years to come. Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to serve him. Please. For all our sakes.
I thank you for your advice, my lord. If you will permit me to respond, our faith in his grace, Joshua Rossfield, is absolute. And we of the Undying will do what we believe is right to fulfill our duty unto him. As first shield to the Phoenix, I am sure you understand what it means to do one's duty.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind. And it is my hope that we may continue to do our duty together.
So Dravost is still standing. For now, at least.
If you can swing a hammer.
I never thought I'd have to.
Would you like to see my wares? Thank you. Go safely now. I have some things for sale. Farewell, traveller.
Clive!
And the Akashic?
Mostly off to the north still. But I spoke to Doris's scouts and it turns out things are worse than I thought. Told old Snotty to be ready to seal the north gate. That should buy us some time if we need it. Enough for the villagers to barricade themselves inside their homes at least.
Well done.
Welcome back, Sid. I'd never have guessed, you know. Not if August hadn't let slip. Who'd have thought that the savior of Dravost would turn out to be the realm's most infamous outlaw? Keen to help us out again?
I am.
Thought you could sneak off without me, did you?
Blackthorn.
Oh, what are you doing here?
One of the scouts couldn't keep his voice down. Unlike my best mate who didn't think I deserved to know. Zoldan, how long's it been? Long enough for us two to turn into a pair of old codgers, I see.
That your idea of an apology? Prick.
Don't listen to him. You only did what you thought was best. For the village and that.
I did, yeah. But that ain't the whole of it. Vulcan, our master, didn't leave the chiefdom to the two of us. He left it to me. The best blacksmith in Dravost, barring himself, of course. Bloody stupid tradition, in my opinion. If someone's got talent, you should let them practice their craft, not ask them to settle petty feuds and barter for grain. Our master wasted half his life that way. I wasn't about to let that happen.
So you wasted half of mine instead.
You're what Dravos needed. Under me and my precious ideals, this place wouldn't have lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work and spare you lot the consequence. I may be a selfish prick, but I only did what I felt I had to.
What you had to do was your duty!
Even if it meant we all starved?
Enough. This is no time. You can finish beating each other up once Dravos is...
Fine. I've said my piece anyway.
Yeah, so have I.
Sorry, Clive. I shouldn't have stuck short enough on time as it is. Still, give us a mo, would you? I need to get my head straight before any of them Akashic try to bite it. You,
We can't afford to waste any...
Right you are. Might be worth having one last word with the scout. Don't want any nasty surprise. Oh, and... Blackthorn?
Akashic on the move.
How close are they?
Within sight of the walls. And there are more coming. They'll wash right over us if we stay out.
Good idea. Get yourselves inside, but...
Understood.
I'm prepared to fight if I have to.
Well, let's hope you don't. Once the scouts are inside, order your men to barricade. No heroic last stands, you hear me? No.
August's right. I've seen what the people here are tough and willing. But they...
I'm going out there. Start work on the gate as soon as I've left.
And if they kill you?
You evacuate. But it won't come to that. I promise. Take good care of Dravos till I get back.
Leave it to me, and...
All right. Which one of you's first? Is that it? Apparently not. Nice try. Too slow. I'm hurt. Now, the question is, did I miss any?
Man alive! You're still in one piece!
I slew as many as I could.
As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot, more like it. Well, almost.
Only almost.
Yeah, one or two did try to sneak over the wall. But we got the bastards, don't you worry.
Good. Though you do know, more will come in time.
In time, yeah. But we can think about them later.
Sid! Enough to give those Akashic monsters nightmares. But mostly,
I'm afraid I've only delayed. There's no getting rid of that, meaning that any living thing which stumbles into those mines will end up clawing at...
And that's if the flood don't spread. I hate to say it, but the village's days are numbered.
That may be, but with ether floods springing up all over, it's no less safe than anywhere, and more importantly, we'll fortify the gates to the north, and I'll see that they're guarded daily.
All right. Then we'll give you...
As for you, Blackthorn, that's twice you've turned up when Dravos needed you. So, thanks.
I shouldn't have stayed away so long. And I shouldn't have left without talking it over with you first.
Too bloody right you shouldn't. I always envied you. You leaving gave me the perfect excuse to, and from that day on I never once stopped to wonder what it would have been like if you'd stayed. You'd have been the death of this place.
Finally, something we can agree on. I hope you see the sense of it eventually.
Alive, perhaps. Wealthy even, but our work used to be the pride of Dalmekia. Now, we churn out the same rubbish day after day. Because it's not about the craft anymore. I wouldn't send my sons to war wearing the shit most of our smiths are making. I've kept working, honing my skills, trying to lead by example, but the average castle apprentice has as much passion for the craft as our current lot. Come back to us, Blackthorn. remind Dravost what a true master blacksmith looks like. I'll even man those bellows of yours if it means we can work at the same forge again.
That's a kind offer. Kinder than I deserve. And I wish I could accept, but I'm needed elsewhere. There's people who trust their lives to my steel, and I daren't let them down.
Fair enough.
But that doesn't mean I couldn't visit from time to time. Let's see if we can't rekindle this town's passion for the craft, shall we?
I'd like that.
Just be sure to tell Snotty to let me in the next time I come calling, yeah?
Knowing him, he'd let you in anyway. Blackthorn. The Master Smith turned outlaw, back in my good graces. I never thought I'd see the day.
I'd say that went pretty well, wouldn't you?
Even better than I'd hoped.
Sid, I've got something for you.
And this is?
A token of our lasting gratitude. But I'm of a mind to make you a far grander gift. Designs for a certain sword have been passed down from chief to chief for generations.
Now hold on, Zoltan. There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. There's not been a craftsman equal to the task. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel, and I've learned to own an edge Odin will be proud of. But the engravings on that thing are enough to make a jeweler cry. And they're not just for show, either.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravost in the first place? A certain ring? I knew I'd never surpass you with the hammer and tongs. So I turned my hand to a different kind of metalwork. Between the two of us, I'd say we're the equal of any master craftsman ever to have graced a forge.
You know what? I think you might be right. Clive, you wouldn't mind if Zoltan came back to the hideaway, would you?
He's more than welcome. As long as he can keep our secret.
Right. Zoltan, get your tools. We've got a legend to forge.
Come back.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of Papillon.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. You're rubbing me blind, you know. Is that all? The stew's awfully thin.
We were just about to make a start on that sword.
It's funny, but none of this You remember Camille? We'll be using his leather work for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues' engraving.
A team effort led by the greatest blacksmith alive.
Now, save that talk till the thing's finished, yeah? Right. I'm ready if you are.
To the bellows it is, then.
Bugger me. We actually did it.
The sword to end all swords. Ragnarok.
It's quite something.
I, trust you'll take good care of it.
Thank you. Both of you.
So, does this make you pair the...
This? It'll take more than that to earn us up, but we're up for the challenge.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the...
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok.
That's a weapon I'd like to see.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you...
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about time I had something to...
Then tap the kegs! Vocal...
What do I owe the honor? I never thought that if it hadn't been... So, will it be? And?
The stew's awfully...
These days. And all. What do you expect? Farmers are...
Everything's back the way it was.
Fresh silks from the Canva caravan. Like naught you've seen before.
Take that, you naughty...
Clive!
I just wanted to see how the town's been.
Since Sweetnall is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from each other and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and the bandits still too just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalimil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalimil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders. Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might have elected to take a similar... They have formed what one could call a league, and they grow more organized.
We'll fight them all off just like last time. No matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course, the longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be. Until the only way to overcome it might be... Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization in the bud. By finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause, perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing...
How could I refuse?
Thank you, my lord. Victor will fill you in on the... I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an amenable soul.
I'll go and speak with him.
What's the difference between a lord and a mayor?
That's easy. One of them swings a...
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalamir.
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to...
I did. I've developed something of a fond, and having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would... A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his...
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits. And he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with Conrad about how to organize our forces. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at once. But we must strike together, and we must strike soon, at as many camps as we can. We can't give this league of theirs time to rally its forces.
All right.
There's one upriver. Just
leave it with me.
Those ne'er-do-wells want to band together.
All right. Stay down. It's over. That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him! The one who killed Nock and Fingers! Take his head off!
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid, where are you? Ah, I see the banners.
No, but... That's not...
No.
What is it?
The whole town's in up. They're saying that Lubor...
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let some of the children spotted him, and he was about... And when Lubor felled him, with a bolt and without a crystal.
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who was made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have been.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs all the...
You're right.
And now everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out soon.
We're sorry, Lubor, but we just couldn't and...
There's nothing to be sorry for. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing. All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change. We need to do something. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed.
You're right.
I'm glad you agree. I'm a Dalmek born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who Lubor... They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial of interlocutors. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however, is a trusted and impartial mediator of note.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, stay here with the children. I can't promise anything, but we'll try.
And that is all I can ask of you.
Why are you taking the bearers?
Why do they always have to make such a fuss?
He knew all along that he was...
Forgive me for disturbing you, but... could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's right. I wanted to speak to you about Lubor.
The rumors that he's a bearer.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this, at least, he's done the town a service.
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was...
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He can't...
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home?
Perhaps. That is a question, and they will thank you not to get involved.
The townsfolk have made their minds up.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refuse to consider anything but their own...
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things.
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearers?
For a sharing.
I assume this is...
There's still hope.
But perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. We'll talk some sense into them.
No. And your efforts would be better spent.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie. That a blade is a reflection of the smith who... Yourself be true. That was a rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with the blade of her own make. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself, and so must I be. I must do what I know to be right. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people, for only united can they hope to stand against the... I'll need to make a suitably dramatic...
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who has ever will be all alone.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go.
How could it possibly be for the best? The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change.
I would not take it, Victor.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town... I thought you were better than... But it seems you had me for...
Victor.
Forget it.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I believe... Ah, but where are my manners? Here. Right then. I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do...
I'll bear it in mind.
village is turned. finished. Nice try.
Stay down!
You're finished.
Yeah!
To me, boy.
Time to fight.
Stay down!
Slow. That's all of them. Owen can uncross his toes now. Doris should be somewhere nearby. Assuming she's still here.
Ah, Clive, I'd like you to seeds for planting. I'll keep providing them with whatever they... But if these pools going to survive, as of those pools, they've lived their whole lives in servitude. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest out. And if you're wondering why you, well, the Wagoneers tell Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it. But I think even he's start...
All right.
Thanks. Wouldn't ask if I didn't have to. There. That should be enough to keep them in Gazal Greens for a few years at least.
Gazal Greens?
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. But they're hardy, they grow fast, and they fill a hole. Better that than something that'll wither away at first frost. And chocobos love them too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together to get Eastpool back on its feet, I mean all of us. They ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right and they're just about bearable.
I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. And if he don't, well, I'll go up there and show him myself.
I'm sure you will.
How do? Much obliged. There you go. Thanks very much. Much obliged. That all, is it?
Just because the heavens have gone to rack and ruin, it don't mean we have to. Now, let's get this stall set out.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
Oh, 1,000 Akashic jaws couldn't hurt me. I'm a son of Rosaria, after all. A born survivor.
The world seems to be changing so fast lately, I can hardly keep up. But what I do know is that there's more...
Want to know how to tell if the world's going to rack and ruin? Look for busy bladesmiths.
I've got greens of all shapes and sizes. Colours too.
Looking for shelter,
green, though.
are you? Come on inside, I'll introduce you to Martha.
Nearly done.
It's been a pleasure, Doris. Just like old times.
I'll give your offer some thought.
How goes the investigation?
Sid, what brings you to Martha's Rest?
You. I heard you were out here on your own, tracking our slaver.
Of course. And it had to be me. The bearers from the Dragon's Eyrie confirmed a long-held suspicion of mine that the slaver we've been tracking is an old acquaintance. She's no fool. If we'd come in force, she would have spotted us straight away, and then vanished.
That was her just now, wasn't it? So, was it a fruitful reunion?
I'd say so. She tried to recruit me. Seems her time in Rosaria is coming to an end. She's abducted bearers from across the region and is looking to smuggle them back into... After her brush with those beastmen on the road to Northreach, she hired herself an Imperial escort. She's dangerous, Sid.
Then I'm going with you. I'll take care of the escort. You can see the bearers to safety. Where are they?
The Baum Archers, soon to break camp. You go on ahead. I'll follow once I've...
Good. They haven't broken camp yet. How did Doris come to know a slaver, I wonder?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready the bearers. We're leaving.
Back to civilization, is it, Mom?
With all haste. Lest any of you lackwits start talking like these feckless bumpkins. I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more, and I'll be docking your pay.
Yes, Mom.
Oh, but before you go, it appears we have company. Kill him.
You're welcome to try. So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men. I surrender. Do with me as you wish, Sid the Outlaw.
Sid!
Ah, Doris. I take it you're not here to rescue me from our brooding renegade? You know, but casting your lot with this criminal of all people.
Better fighting for a cause than killing for... I'm sorry, Sid. I should have told this woman, my former master, once trained bearer children to be weapons in service of the highest. She raised me like a daughter, and I did.
It wasn't all terrible. You were always so eager to learn, and had such clever hands. But you proved yourself a How about it, my little dagger? Care to swear that blade to me again?
I never swore my blade to you, nor will I ever. I fight for a higher cause, to liberate the bearers of this world. Farewell, Master. Thank you for making me the...
You always were a right. Perhaps that's the reason I love...
What do you want to do with her?
I am not the killer she wanted me to be. Not anymore. And she no longer has friends in high places. The Dame does, though. Her connections at the Imperial Court will see that...
All right.
I am. And thank you for everything.
And I should head back to the hideaway and put Cole's mind at ease.
Welcome back, Sid. Doris's message just arrived. I hear you saved more bear...
With any luck, they'll be joining us in... Oh, and your letter. You don't need to worry about...
I'd been hoping as much. She mentioned one or two things in her report. So the slaver we'd been chasing all these months was her former master. She's been arrested, by the way, over in Sandbreak. She won't be getting off lightly. The Empire may have no love for bearers, but it's none... Can't have been easy for...
I'm sure it wasn't.
I hope so. You had quite the past yours anyway.
Keep up the good work, Cole.
Ah, what brings you to...
A delivery.
These are Gizal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings, then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be able to revive, but they'd long since gone to seed.
Martha was hoping you might be able to show the bearers how to plant it so that they'll be able to fend for them.
That's not a bad idea. These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds. They know little of freedom, of providing. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves, bearers and Guardians alike. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses. There have been alarming reports of...
The Horde is closing in. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Damn it all, I thought we'd have more time. Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcements.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while now. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter walls.
Now you're out of time.
Precisely.
What if you could call...
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live, not...
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. Are the bearers not men? Though they may not be trained soldiers like your Guardians. What help they are able to offer could still prove the
You're right, my lord. I will appeal to them. My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter, to serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will, a home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool!
Free fall!
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love the sound of my own voice.
Lord Rossfield, my lady, we're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points around the village. Upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can, steadily retreating all the while.
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, we will focus purely on defense at first. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point will be the village square, the perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them and fall upon them, and for you and I to finish them off.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerves to coordinate the retreat. I'd say you have both in abundance, Await, but you'll be needed. Please, leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you have all the glory.
Sir Wade! They're here!
Then you know what you must do. We work together, everyone playing their part, each shielding the other that no man might fall, that Eastpool might live on. For Rosaria!
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you ask.
And I will do as you ask.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too, then, eh?
Right you are, Martha.
The calm before the storm. And here it comes. Not let this village fall. Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rossfield! Chain...
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So wait, how many Akashic remain in...
Hard to say. My men are still facing some I could order a
No. Let you stay here too, Sir Wade. I'll go after the curl. Join me only when Eastpool is...
If you're sure, my lord. May the Founder protect...
Next one's mine. I might...
With me, Torgal. Too slow. All right. Back to Eastpool.
Lord Rossfield, the curl, is it?
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. And for you, my lord. We were able to eradicate the rest of the... I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further attacks. I hesitate to say it, but...
I think it might.
We saved East... Thank you, my friends. Thank you.
No, Sir Wade. You brought us together. Showed us what it means to fight for what you hold dear.
We never had nothing to call our own before, but now we do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. But there's no doubt in my mind, we're free men now. We have to fight to protect.
And we shall. This is our home. And if anyone or anything...
They'll have us to answer.
Come on then.
This village isn't gonna rebuild.
They're not slaves anymore.
No. They're Rosarians. Your father took pity on the bearer's plight, and I believe if he was still with us today, this is what he would have wanted.
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord, and do what I can to help rebuild the village. After all, this is my home now, too.
I think you'll find it's East Pudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud, all the same. I'll have to pull my weight, too. Can't have the rest. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting...
Can we continue to count on your support, Martha?
Of course. And I'll be counting on yours, too. Us Rosarians have got to stick together, haven't we?
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stable. I ain't paid you for delivering them.
All right.
Clearing the goblins from the Stillwind marshes. There's one sight that I shall never forget. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up, when the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor. But every time, I would think back to the look in your eyes that to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose.
So Wade, you have always been I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be safe in yours.
The hero? It's lucky you came. Not only did my seeds get to...
I just did what I...
And it's only right. Take it.
Thank you, Martha.
So, Eastpool's fine and a home to free bearers.
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Though I suppose the rest ain't... You know, bearers living free, loath as I am.
I take it you didn't always see...
Well, if you really want to know... I started doing what I do long before I met. In fact, that's how I met him. He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow, and before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing. Just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that...
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what...
Suppose you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it... Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the wings, eh? It's almost enough to give you... Anyway, enough. Better get back to work. Let's see about making everyone some... The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty stomach neither.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
How may I help you today, Clive? Best of luck out there, Sid.
How was she? The Enterprise.
Ah, sir. Good, thankfully.
That's brilliant! I'll fit him to the smelter. May I present to you the Telemon Furnace? Ain't bad, is she?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let your good deed go unrewarded.
It's fine, really. My bag's flexible enough already.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few improvements to it yet.
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make some more room? And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy, it's a metal, see? So
stretchy metal.
That is the... So, what do you reckon?
It's actually quite ingenious. Thank you, Owain.
Shh, don't mention it. You earned it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Reckon we'll have all kinds of uses for it around the hideaway. Can't think of any right now, but that's our job, innit? Dreaming up new ways to make life easier around here. Maybe even out there, too. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together.
They'll hardly believe they're right.
So, she don't need sails or oars, but she's still the fastest ship on the sea.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Your benefactors are a generous lot. Here you are. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Clive!
Anything catch your eye? Seen enough?
How do you split the sea?